everyone, welcome to YourPedia and this is Shikha. So today we are going to discuss about the next part of a previous video that we are going to discuss, and we were discussing actually NaBFID HR questions for all of the candidates who are get shortlisted for different kind of post. Alright, so in a previous video we have talked about the risk management officers and typical HR question related to that domain. Today we are going to discuss about the lending, I would say, operation officer, that what can be the questions can to ask to that lending operation officer in that PI. Alright, let's just have a look to these questions, that what can be these kinds of domain of questions can be asked. Describe your experience in managing loan disbursement for large infrastructure projects. How do you ensure that lending operations comply with regulatory requirements? Can you explain the key factors you consider when assessing the loan application from infrastructure financing? Now, loan, approval and all these things, how would you manage the loan cost? What time will you be giving? If you are from this background and you are going for the lending operation officer, these questions you must prepare. You need to know the answer of this question, that what possible answer you will give to these respective questions, right? That what kind of skills you have related to that. Coming to other next questions, how do you manage borrower relationships throughout the loan cycle? Describe a time when you improved efficiency in lending operations. How do you monitor the repayment schedules of large infrastructure loans? Explain the role of due diligence in the lending process. See, when we lend or when we borrow, right, we used to take a risk basically, fine, and that is the responsibility of a lending operation officer, that what is the due date, what is the duration of lending and borrowing and all these amount and like that, fine, what are the things, what is the scenario, who needs to be borrow, who needs to be lend, these all things need to be prepared by you. If you are a lending operation officer, so these questions will you ask to, that would you take the risk to borrow or to lend from that kind of personality? How would you communicate? How would you make a chain related to them? Fine. How do you handle defaults or delayed repayments? How are we going to be handle the delay payments? Now, payments are going to be postponed, and one person who's not giving you payment or like that, who's not giving you a loan, right? What experience do you have with loan management, software and technology solutions? How you would optimize loan processing time, ensure transparency in the loan approval and disbursement process? लोन अप्रूवल के टाइम पे एंड लेने के टाइम पे वापस वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंसी होनी चाहिए, एंड व्हाट वुड यू से अबाउट दैट, वो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि क्या रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं, क्या उसके क्राइटेरिया है टू अप्रूव द लोन एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स. अदरवाइज यू विल नॉट बी अ गुड मार्केटर और आई वुड से गुड लोन अप्रूवर. हाउ यू बैलेंस लेंडिंग रिस्क विद इंस्टीट्यूशनल गोल्स? How do you take the ensure the security of sensitive lending data, changes borrowers' financial conditions unexpected? Experiencing and coordinating with multiple departments of facilitated loan approvals. You are handling loan department and you are affiliated with the different departments. Then how would you deal? Okay, how are you going to be handle all these different departments to approving the loans basically? That you must aware about. Okay, you will give time, you will make a group, you will be a subordinate. How would you do handle? Okay. How do you assess the long-term viability of an infrastructure project? Steps do you take to mitigate the risk of bad loans? जो bad loan होते हैं, जो मतलब इतना cost बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, उसके risk को आप कैसे ठीक करोगे? How do you prioritize lending operations when dealing with multiple high priority project? Situation where you result conflict related to long-term, I would say, with a borrower. कोई किसी ने कुछ borrow किया है, loan लिया है, something like that, उसके साथ कोई conflict हो जाता है, then how would you handle? ठीक है, how would you handle with that situation? वो या तो either you will be lost in by your money or the financial status, या फिर उसके I would say ethic relationship उसके खराब हो जाएंगे. Then how would you handle that conflict? That is your responsibility. How do you maintain relationship with government bodies and financial institution in lending operation? That is very important. Then how you are going to be basically handle the relationships or maintain the relationship with government bodies and financial institution? When you have to be this kind of responsibility, you need to be take care, you need to be active related to the financial institutions and government bodies, that what sources they are providing to you, how will you cater it out, and if they are providing some kind of resources, then how are you going to be deal with them? So all these things is come under your supervision. So this is your responsibility to prepare these kinds of HR question related to your particular domain. All right. You can have this document on YourPedia panel and you can access that. You can just read out the questions, understand the questions, and can prepare HR round with YourPedia mentors for better performance. All the very best guys. If you have any query, any question related to this, you can ask us. Please read out the documents carefully, be prepared, and then prepare with YourPedia mentors. All the best.